Hey everyone, it's Joe Waxman again. And in this video, I want to do a reading of some of Sylvia Plath's poems, and we'll look at her chart briefly. I know I already looked at her chart, but with the new moon in Cancer opposite Pluto, it just feels like a very emotionally heavy time, and I don't know why. I just wanted to do this. So let's get right into it. Uh We're gonna first I'm gonna read some of her poems. Um and she was a novelist too. I read The Bell Jar, which is an incredible book. Really well done. She's one of my favorite authors. I don't know why they're highlighting some of it, but um anyway, I'm gonna read three poems. So and then we'll look at her chart. All right. This one's called The Applicant. First, are you our sort of a person? Do you wear a glass eye, false teeth, or a crutch, a brace or a hook, rubber breasts or a rubber crotch? Stitches to show something's missing? No, no. Then how can we give you a thing? Stop crying. Open your hand. Empty? Empty. Here's a hand to fill it and willing to bring teacups and roll away headaches and do whatever you tell it. Will you marry it? It is guaranteed. To thumb shut your eyes at the end and dissolve of sorrow. We make new stock from the salt. I notice you are stark naked. How about this suit? Black and stiff, but not a bad fit. Will you marry it? It is waterproof, shatterproof, proof against fire and bombs through the roof. Believe me, they'll bury you in it. Now your head, excuse me, is empty. I have the tickets for that. The ticket for that. Come here, sweetie, out of the closet. Well, what do you think of that? Naked as paper to start. But in 25 years, she'll be silver. In 50, gold. A living doll everywhere you look. It can sew, it can cook, it can talk, talk, talk. It works. There is nothing wrong with it. You have a hole. It's a poultice. You have an eye. It's an image. My boy, it's your last resort. Will you marry it? Marry it? Marry it? It's a fun poem. It probably has some, it feels like how back at that time, like women were sold like objects to be married off, things like that, and sort of poking fun at that whole idea. But I like it for not I don't like to get too academic with this kind of thing. I like the feeling of it. That's how I judge a poem. Um, this one was always one of my favorites. So powerful. Her father was a Nazi, or at least a Nazi sympathizer. I'm not sure if it was actual Nazi or Nazi sympathizer. Anyway, this one's called Daddy, and I'll try to do my best. I don't speak German, so forgive me for that part, for any of the German words that she includes. Anyway, you do not do any more black shoe, in which I have lived like a foot for 30 years, poor and white, barely daring to breathe or achoo. Daddy, I have had to kill you. You died before I had time. Marble heavy, a bag full of God. Ghastly stature with one gray toe, big as a Frisco seal, and head in the freakish Atlantic, where it pours bean green over blue. In the waters of beautiful Nauset, I used to pray to recover you. Ach du. In the German tongue, in the Polish town, scraped flat by the roller of wars, wars, wars. But the name of the town is common, my Polak friend. Say there are a dozen or two, so I never could tell where you put your foot, your root. I never could talk to you, the tongue stuck in my jaw. It's stuck in a barbed wire snare. Ich, 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 ich. I could hardly speak. I thought every German was you, and the language obscene. An engine, chuffing me off like a Jew. A Jew to Dachau, Auschwitz, Belsen. I began to talk like a Jew. I think I may well be a Jew. The snows of the Tyrol, the clear beer of Vienna, are not very pure or true with my gypsy ancestress and my weird luck and my Tarak pack. I may be a bit of a Jew. I have always been scared of you with your Luftwaffe, your gobbledygoo, and your neat mustache, and your Aryan eye, bright blue. Panzerman, oh you. Not God, but a swastika, so black no sky could squeak through. Every woman adores a fascist, the boot in the face, the brute heart of a brute like you. You stand at the blackboard, daddy, in the picture I have of you, a cleft in your chin instead of your foot, but no less of a devil for that, no not, any less the black man who bit my pretty red heart in two. I was 10 when they buried you, and at 20 I tried to die and get back to you. I thought even the bones would do. But they pulled me out of the sack, and they stuck me together with glue. And then I knew what to do. I made a model of you, a man in black, with a Mein Kampf look, and a love of the rack and the screw. And I said, I do. So, Daddy, I'm finally through. The black telephone's off at the root. The voices just can't warm through. Sorry. I've killed one man. I've killed two. If I've killed one man, I've killed two. The vampire who said he was you and drank my blood for a year. 7 years, if you want to know. Daddy, you can lie back now. There's a stake in your fat black heart, and the villagers never liked you. They're dancing and stamping on you. They always knew it was you. Daddy, you bastard, I'm through. Oh, that's such a great poem. And I apologize if I butchered parts of it, but you know, that's just the way it goes. I'm not a professional poem reader. I don't know if there is a thing. There probably is a thing, but it's not me. But I like it. I like to read, so well, I like to read some things. Just be honest. I don't like reading a lot of things. I like reading this, and I like reading on video. All right, this one's a great one too. Lady Lazarus by Sylvia Plath. I have done it again. 1 year in every 10. I manage it. A sort of walking miracle. My skin, bright as a Nazi lampshade. My right foot, a paperweight. My face a featureless, fine Jew linen. Peel off the napkin, oh my enemy. Do I terrify? The nose, the eye pits, the full set of teeth, the sour breath will vanish in a day. Soon the flesh, the grave cave 8 will be at home on me. And I, a smiling woman, I am only 30, and like the cat, I have 9 times to die. This is number 3. What a trash to annihilate each decade. What a million filaments the peanut crunching crowd shoves in to see. Them unwrap me hand and foot, the big strip tease, gentlemen, ladies. These are my hands, my knees. I may be skin and bone, nevertheless, I am the same identical woman. The first time it happened, I was 10. It was an accident. The second time, I meant to last it out and not come back at all. I rocked shut. As a seashell, they had to call and call. I picked the worms off me like sticky pearls. Dying is an art, like everything else. I do it exceptionally well. I do it so it feels like hell. I do it so it feels real. I guess you could say I have a call. It's easy enough to do it in a cell. It's easy enough to do it and stay put. It's the theatrical. Come back in broad day to the same place, the same face, the same brute. Amuse, shout, a miracle that knocks me out. There is a charge for the eyeing of my scars. There is a charge for the hearing of my heart. It really goes. And there is a charge, a very large charge for a word or a touch or a bit of blood or a piece of my hair or my clothes. So, hair doctor, so hair enemy. I am your opus. I am your valuable, the pure gold, baby, that melts to a shriek. I turn and burn. Do not think I underestimate your great concern. Ash, ash, you poke and stir. Flesh, bone, there is nothing there. A cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold filling. Ere God, ere Lucifer, beware, beware. Out of the ash I rise with my red hair, and I eat men like air. Whew, that is scorching. Scorching hot. Man, I love this. Can I read that? I'm gonna read that again. That's just so good. Lady Lazarus. I've done it again. 1 year in every 10. I manage it. A sort of walking miracle. My skin, bright as a Nazi lampshade, my right foot. A paperweight, my face, a featureless fine Jew linen. Peel off the napkin, oh my enemy. Do I terrify? The nose, the eye pits, the full set of teeth. The sour breath will vanish in a day. Soon, soon the flesh, the grave cave 8 will be at home on me. And I, a smiling woman, I am only 30. And like the cat, I have 9 times to die. This is number 3. What a trash to annihilate each decade. What a million filaments the peanut crunching crowd shoves in to see. Them unwrap me hand and foot, the big strip tease. Gentlemen, ladies, these are my hands, my knees. I may be skin and bone. Nevertheless, I am the same identical woman. The first time it happened, I was 10. It was an accident. The second time, I meant to last it out and not come back at all. I rocked shut. As a seashell, they had to call and pick the worms off me like sticky pearls. Dying is an art, like everything else. I do it exceptionally well. I do it so it feels like hell. I do it so it feels real. I guess you could say I've a call. It's easy enough to do it in a cell. It's easy enough to do it and stay put. It's the theatrical. Come back in broad day to the same place, the same face, the same brute. Amused, shout. A miracle that knocks me out. There is a charge. For the eyeing of my scars, there is a charge. For the hearing of my heart, it really goes. There is a charge, a very large charge, for a word or a touch or a bit of blood or a piece of my hair or my clothes. So, Herr Doctor, so Herr Enemy, I am your opus. I am your valuable, the pure gold, baby, that melts to a shriek. I turn and burn. Do not think I underestimate your great concern. Ash, ash, you poke and stir. Flesh, bone, there is nothing there. A cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold filling. Ere God, ere Lucifer, beware, beware. Out of the ash, I rise with my red hair, and I eat men like air. Woo! Hot, 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 hot. Burning. Dying is an art like everything else. I do it exceptionally well. I do it so it feels like hell. I do it so it feels real. I guess you could say I have a call. Oh, I love that. Because, well, I don't know. I guess I have a penchant for these femme fatale types. Sylvia Plath. I mean, some of them I just really like, and she's beautiful. Let's go back for a second. Amy Winehouse is another one that I don't know, something about her that's just really attractive to me, I guess. But this Sylvia Plath, what a face. Absolutely gorgeous. And as you know, she was 30 when she died. So this is her astrology chart. Very powerful. I mean, first of all, look at the 7th house stuff. South Node, Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, all in Virgo. So what do these all have in common? These are all creative, very warm, soft, benefic type planets. Jupiter's not feminine, but Venus and Neptune are. Venus especially. Neptune, I consider feminine, although it could go either way, I guess. Jupiter really is not feminine, but Jupiter does lend itself well to, I guess, creative feminine. It helps out that sort of thing. Jupiter and Venus are both the great benefics. Jupiter and Neptune both rule Pisces, so it has this very creative, expansive feeling. Virgo is very analytical, very academic. So it's this creative academic type of thing going on here in the seventh house with South Node. South Node. Jupiter is exactly conjunct South Node. I have Jupiter South Node, but with 4-degree orb. She's got 0-degree orb. So, and then Venus and Neptune are pretty close by. So there's this very early on natural sort of intelligence having to do with Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, creativity in the seventh house. Seventh house means communicating with other people. I have seventh house planets. I have Jupiter and South Node and Mercury, which is why I love to, make videos like this, because it's communicating with you, whoever's listening, right? So the South Node gives this innate talent, this inherent skill, and then it's disposited by Mercury, which let's see here. Venus Mercury, that's really good. There's that sextile, and Mercury is dignifying this Venus, which is not in great dignity in Virgo. Neither is Jupiter. And she had a lot of troubles, obviously, right? Very depressive, very suicidal, and she did actually eventually commit suicide. And then she talks about suicide a lot in her poems, and that's one of the things that gives her poems such power. But look at this Mercury. I mean, she's got Sun and Mercury in Scorpio. So there we get a lot of the darkness, right? A lot of the dark heaviness. But Mars, the co-ruler of Scorpio, squares Mercury. And there's a mutual reception. First of all, there's a mutual reception between Mars and Sun. It's not by degree, but it's still powerful and it's still helpful. And then Mars is dignifying Mercury by a square. But then Pluto also is within range by degree in the trine, and that co-rules Scorpio. And then Uranus, which is exalted in Scorpio, is in an inconjunct to this Mercury. So you can see how powerful her expression is with all these planets in Virgo, and then all the aspects to Mercury itself in the ninth house, which the ninth house is very high-minded, right? Very philosophical, and academic, and very intelligent. A lot of very just like really, very big thinking and kind of plus Jupiter is further. Jupiter MC, sorry, Sag MC is furthering that ninth house theme. So MC Lord in the seventh conjunct Neptune, Venus, and South Node. So very creative career in Virgo, which would be academic. So writing, where she wrote poems and I mean, Virgo doesn't have to be writing, but it certainly can be. Right. And then let's see, Venus is the third house lord. That's with their South Node and Jupiter. So that's writing, obviously. Saturn, which is their ascendant lord, is in Capricorn, which is really interesting considering that she killed herself. I mean, Saturn in Capricorn is usually an indication that a person can withstand any sort of difficulty. I'm not too worried usually if I see Saturn in Capricorn. I'm like, well, they can, doesn't matter what bad aspects they have, they'll just learn from it and grow from it. But there's something really driving her to end her own life, and I think that's partially because the way the nodes are set up. And I'm going to do a whole series of angular, not series, but I'm going to do a video of nodes on the first seventh axis, because that's a really, really intense place for the nodes to be. It's what I have, and I can tell you it's not easy. But a lot of people who die young, she was 30 when she died, but a lot of the 27 club have the angular nodes, but in the first seventh axis, which is really difficult. And so South Node in the seventh would indicate that the person in early on in their life has a lot of relationships, and that relationships play a very important part of their life. She did marry a fellow poet, author, and that's seventh lord. Well, actually, I guess you could say Sun is the seventh lord, but it's still conjunct the ninth house cusp in Scorpio. So ninth would be a fellow academic, collegiate type, right? She went to college and studied and was an academic and all that. So similar to her. what was I saying? Yeah, the nodes. So relationships early on. And then even though she didn't live till 42. At 42, she would have been very much her own person. Um Not that she wasn't before, but she was married, she had a family. She didn't really like the whole family life. And Pluto's in the fifth, fifth Lord Moon's in the eighth. So again, that's very difficult. Her heart was in a very difficult place, and she did not like being a mother. Um, it was just, and she left two kids behind, and it's very sad. Uh, but yeah, this North Node in Pisces in the first, with no planets here, that's very lonely. It's like desire to escape into the nothing, into the abyss, alone by herself. Um, so I mean, I completely understand. I had North Node in Scorpio in the first with no personal planets there. I have Uranus, so it's pretty lonely. It's pretty tough, but that's her chart, and I don't want to belabor any of this. Like, this is just going over the basics. Scorpio, eighth house moon, south node Jupiter. This also indicates early success because south node Jupiter, right? And also south node Venus. But the south node is early on, early life. Jupiter is usually related to success. So early success, in Virgo themes, creativity, Jupiter MC career, right? And then later it's still activating the Jupiter, but this just this pull towards escapism and eighth house death, scorpionic themes, just too heavy. A lot of heavy Pluto and Scorpio and Pluto and Cancer in the fifth, right? Really, really intense. Uh, and yeah, there's a square to Uranus, which is very sudden, accidental, um, sudden death type thing, sudden accidental. She stuck her head in the oven. That's how she did it. So, in any case, yeah, that's Sylvia Plath, and I hope you enjoyed the readings and the reading. So anyway, I don't know. I just felt like doing it, so this is what I this is what today's offering is all about. So anyway, guys, yeah, new moon in Cancer is a little heavy, opposite Capricorn, but things will be okay. Things will get better. Anyway, hang in there. I'll see you again soon. Bye.